before Christmas, hopefully, depending on the weather, and maybe after Christmas if the weather doesn't hold. I'm gonna walk the distance of a full marathon, a little bit more. Roughly, the route I'm planning right now is about 43, 44 kilometers. Yes, I will be war walking the whole thing, so that should give me some interesting data and numbers. But the goal is I'm gonna go see my grandmother.
So it's 3 a.m. Just woke up. Yeah, I gotta pack up and get ready to go.
So today's the day. First up, got to get to the station, get on the train. So quick walk through the park, get on the train, and then it's about 3-hour ride on the train. Two hours later, got off at the closest station. It's about a 20-minute walk from here. Weather's nice, but it is cold out here. I'm glad I'm all geared up for cold weather. 20 minutes up the hill. The cemetery is up on the mountain, so it'll be uphill, but almost there. Hey, so I made it. It's way up on the mountains, but that's Grandma and Grandpa's grave. Some other family members too, from my mom's side. My dad's side, Grandma's grave is right over there. But as you can see, nobody has been able to come up here, clean up a little bit. So first up, gotta clean the grave. So then I Zoom called my parents. I screen recorded this section. I should have recorded the video from Zoom straight, but I forgot about that. They seemed surprised because I didn't tell them I was going to go up there. They were more surprised when they heard that I was walking back. But they were happy and they were very supportive about it. My mom was worried as always, but I told her that I had trained for it, so it was okay. So yeah, it's up on a hill. Pretty high hill. The view is gorgeous. So is the weather. And I have to head that way. That's where I live. So it's 45 kilometers that way from here. So I have to go down the hill all the way down there. So this is my mother's size grave. And then over here, we have my father's side grave. So they're both well, now you got me in the shadow, but the general feeling cemetery is like this. When we got them the graves here, all of that was empty, and they just kept adding more and more up there. But it's a nice grave. Or cemetery, I should say, I guess. Downside is it's really up on the hill. That's the city of Tokyo. And down there, I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but is where I need to head. But hopefully it will work out. So as you can see, this general route is a slow downhill, except for some of the middle part, and the last part is an uptick. This is me starting out. Other than that, walking around this neighborhood is not as exciting. It's cookie cutter suburbia, same kind of building, same kind of house, same kind of stores over and over again. So yeah, I mean, it's not really mind engaging. So, as I have been training for this, some sick part of me has started to enjoy going up hills, and I just finished one right behind me. It's a pretty steep uphill, long one, and I kind of enjoyed it. What is wrong with me? So, life gives you choices, right? If I continue that way, it will put me through a bunch of residential areas and a lot more Wi-Fi spots to collect for wiggle points. But if I take this route, I get to walk next to the river all the way back. And it's a bit crowded, a lot of trucks. Scenery isn't that exciting. So, from a wiggle points perspective, I should take that way, but I'm taking the river walk. I'm choosing scenery this time. So in the end, taking the scenic route along the river was the right choice. It became such a mental game for me that I didn't need all the challenges of walking through a residential area. So I'm going to take a break here for 5-10 minutes. My left shoelace is bothering me, so I'm going to relace it up. The problem with walking through a residential area or a business area is that there really isn't a place to sit down and do maintenance. So right now at this river crossing on this cycle road here, it's a good place to do some maintenance for the later half. 17 kilometers so far, so I still have about 28 to go. I can do it. Should be okay. I'm glad I hit the river path now, so it should be easy going from here. Okay. So just past the point of no return, meaning that any distance from here on is familiar distance. It means that distances that I've done before, so it's only going to get more familiar with the more I walk. It's about 4 o'clock right now. I'm a bit behind schedule, I guess, but I took a couple breaks. They're definitely worth it.
けが全てだときっと誰にも届かないようなブルースを
So the sun is setting. That's really pretty. So, I'm at the 30-kilometer mark. Yeah, 20 to 30 was long. Got about 14 more to go. But I'm optimistic about it. Taking a break now. Get some calories in. Hydrate a little bit more. So... yeah, I know it's dark, but that leaf color is so pretty. Last stretch. I think I've about one more hour to go, maybe less. I just needed a break. Last break. You know, this is turning out to be a real big mental exercise more than a physical exercise. Yeah, my legs and, you know, my body is screaming, but more than that, my mental part is really fatigued. But at least it's a pretty leaves. So yeah, after 10 hours, I made it home. The last 5-6 kilometers was real tough. I had moments of where I wanted to give up and jump on a train or a bus or a cab and head home. And you know, I was questioning myself, who cares? And the problem was I did. You know, I had gone that much. I didn't want to give up at the end, so I pushed through, and I made it home. Hey, so it's been 2 days since the walk. The latter part, once it got dark, the temperature really dropped. It dropped below what I had expected. So I was really freezing. It was really cold. I had some clothing ready for it, but it wasn't enough. And then once I hit 35 or so, my legs started to cramp up, and I think it's mostly because I was fighting the cold so hard to stay warm, and I could feel the tension inside me. My right leg's knee tendons started to bother me, and there were moments where I was just like, who cares, you know, I should just jump on a bus or a cab and just head home. I made it good enough, but I cared. You know, I made it 38, 39 kilometers in, and I was like, it's only another hour or an hour and a half, and I was really fighting it. I had planned to do a couple more video shots and video takes here and there, but really at this point I was in full survival mode almost. I really didn't care anything. It was just one foot in front of the other for the last hour and a half, and there were parts of it where it seemed it was going on forever. You know, I would walk and walk and walk, and I look at my at my GPS, and it says you have made 2 kilometers. I'm like, shit, there's only 2 kilometers I walked that far for. But yeah, so that was a lesson learned. Most of it I attribute to not being experienced in this kind of sort of activity. You know, I've never ran a marathon. I've never walked this much in a long shot. There's a difference between, you know, 10 kilometers now is easy, but really after 30, it became more of a mental game. My body was giving up, but more than that, my mental fatigue was really started to wear me down. I was losing focus and so on. So once I got home, I asked my family to pepper bath for me, and I just jumped in the bath. And literally, I was like shivering in the bathtub, warming myself up. Yeah, and my body, the next day, yesterday, yesterday I took it easy, but I ate a lot. I basically ended up spending the whole day eating. I was so hungry. During the walk, I made a conscious decision not to stop at a restaurant or a place to eat because I figured that I would lose the momentum to go out. In hindsight, I'm not sure if that was the right choice or not. I had some gels and some snacks, some high caloric snacks that I took on the way. And those did really help. The energy gels that I had packed were perfect. I could feel the boost of them. But in the end, you know, once I got home, before even I wanted to eat, I wanted to have a hot cup of tea, and I just jumped straight into the bath to warm myself up again. Had a big burger. That was awesome. And yeah, and then yesterday I spent most of the day just eating and sleeping, recuperating. My left leg is better. My right leg knee is still bothering me a little bit. I ended up with a couple blisters, but the blisters are the least of the problem that I have right now. Yeah. So, would I recommend doing something like this? No. Not in this winter weather. In the warmer weather, maybe. If I didn't have to fight the cold all day, as much as I ended up doing, despite the fact that I had warm clothing on, that I had picked for this whole thing, might have been a bit easier. But I wanted to wait to remember 2020. I wanted to do something worthwhile for 2020. So in the end, I'm pretty happy about it. I was hoping for this euphoric release once I got to home, but literally, I think until mid yesterday, I was still like surviving, trying to bring myself back to where I was. Still not there, but I'm feeling much better now. As I edit this video, I'm pretty happy about it, but yeah, it was crazy. But you know, it is what it is. One more thing to chalk down on my bucket list, I guess. Next time, if I do something similar like this, I have more experience. I'm pretty happy. I think at the end, I ended up adding 60,000 something new devices to Wiggle. So that is a personal best I ever had, and I'm glad that the rig worked flawlessly for 10 hours straight. I might do a video on the gear, on the war walking rig itself, except for the fact that, you know, Zero Chaos and Melandic and Dark Matter and some others have challenged me in January, so I'm not sure if I should share the rig as much as I should, but I probably will. I'm pretty confident about my results. So other than that, thanks for watching the video. Hope, you know, it inspired you to do something. You know, I didn't think I could do it. I ended up being able to do it, but it really was a mental exercise more than a physical exercise for me. Stay warm, stay safe, wear a mask, and hopefully 2021 will be better.